All right, hello there, everybody. The man you see here is none other than Hyuk. That's right, Lee Hyuk, the man who defeated all of STX Seoul on one of the most improbable and amazing improvements ever seen for a player in sports history. The man who has just jumped to the forefront of the Zerg scene. Although recently he's been cooling down a little bit, still he is going to get a chance to get into the round 32 today, and we're going to get a chance to watch this ever-amusing player with the hilarious name, of course. That is why we love him. That is why I even care about him, because he is not Lee Hyuk, by the way. Sorry, Park Hyuk. Not Lee Jae-dong. Park Hyuk. Anyway, his full name is Park Hyuk, and he's known as Hyuk. Very, very creative. And against him today, we'll be playing another hilarious player, Backho, of course. Backho, oh man, Backho. He was an original player we made fun of, actually, because of his name, but I didn't begin that. I think Klazard started that one. But Backho is, of course, the Protoss player on Lake Half Oz, or down known as Hwasun Oz, who dressed in drag and was disturbingly good-looking as a girl until I realized it was Backho in a skirt, dancing with Jae-dong, who of course was not dressed in a skirt. Also included in the humiliation was Lomo, who decided to get himself into a dress also to dance in drag to the Wonder Girls songs. So, Backho, the transvestite, versus Hyuk, the former doorman of SKT1's house, turned into horrible Zerg player on their team, turned into amazing Zerg player on their team. I definitely favor Hyuk here, to be absolutely frank, because Backho, not only is he's kind of I'm going to explain later, but he's also kind of not good against Zerg, mainly. He's only 36% against Zerg, which for someone who has a 46% win rate overall is pretty damn low. I've seen some embarrassing play from him too. Just basically non-creative, standard, but not even good at standard conventional play, especially against July Zerg, that series of just embarrassments for him. When July Zerg was on the way to winning his third OSL, he stomped over Backho and The Rock as just like, not even like road bumps. They were probably like speed things, like, you know, like in Mario Kart or something. It's actually like a power up to beat Backho and The Rock, to get to play them, because he probably got such a boost from it that he just like pwned best in the final games, because he like basically benefited from eating their souls, which July does, along with eating other things, lots of food. Anyway, it looks like we got ourselves some kind of a pool first build here. I believe it was an overpool. And that's been pretty standard in Protoss versus Zerg play at times. I believe this opening usually leads to a 3-hatchery opening. It's perhaps I guess it's just to put a little more pressure on the Protoss to start with, and also to perhaps protect against a Zealot rush, although we hardly ever see that, especially on maps like Byzantium. By the way, we saw a Forge first, and then a Nexus, no cannons yet, for Backho, who is going to go for 1 cannon here. And kind of in a weird position. He's going to need to get that gateway down and then another cannon, I believe. I don't think he can handle with just 1 cannon. I think he'll be okay with the resources for doing that, but we're going to see if his positioning is okay or not. Hyuk, yeah, I mean, what can I say about him? He went on an 8-game winning streak, beat among those players Jae-dong and Hwasun and another Terran who's pretty good, Cal. I mean, just ridiculousness from the guy with a 30% win rate before, and I believe he didn't even like win any games against Terran. I think it was like 2 and 15 or something like that. Not 3 and 15. I was wrong about that. 2 and 15. Jesus. And he manages to beat Hwasun and Bogus. I mean, just nobody knows how he did it. No one knows basically what the phenomenon, how to explain this phenomenon. Basically, I think I think perhaps the best theory is that Luxury and Hyuk have traded faces. Basically, the Hyuk's, you know, and they just had that face surgery where they gave each other their faces. Luxury's playing like horribly recently, and Hyuk is playing very, very well, like Luxury used to. So that explains everything. I'm just gonna hand wave everything else. We're gonna see Luxury, by the way, at some point in the MST. He was the previous MSL winner before the last one in the Avalon MSL, who was calm. He was calm, literally calm. For those of you who don't know, calm. He's pretty damn good, actually. Kind of a newish player, but pretty good. Anyway, looks like no action in the beginning. The cannons get up, and we're seeing the 3rd hatchery and the lair. So this is going to be a conventional opening for Zerg versus Protoss. Diagonal cross positions. I think it's a good idea. Play a longer game for the Zerg. Try to get some expansions. Maybe pressure with Hydras after you get some Scourge. I feel like, to be absolutely honest, Hyuk does not need to do anything particularly amazing to beat Backho, who isn't going to do anything surprising at all, in my opinion. Probably going to go for some kind of I mean, if I were going to guess, I guess maybe Stargate slash... okay, whoa, alright, I might be wrong here. I don't see a Stargate. This might actually be a Zealot Rush. And it will be a Zealot Rush. Okay, so he is going to do something slightly different. It's still a conventional build, I believe, but hopefully he has the manliness to pull this off. Now, it does take a lot of manliness, as we all know, to pull off the Zealot Rush. And Backho Zealots, unfortunately, have been known as Holots. At least I've been referring them to Holots for the longest time, because he is literally the most unmanly programmer out there. Backho. He is so pretty in a girl's way. I mean, Bisu looks like freaking Hulk Hogan next to Backho, alright? Bisu is like, his fathered like 30 children compared to Backho, I mean, in terms of manliness. And Bisu, man, that guy has like a $300 hairstyler, and he's still that much more manly than Backho. Backho, I mean, is just the most womanly programmer out there. His Zealots usually do not amount to anything. They don't even hit ground units. Basically, they hit each other. They kind of slap each other. Like, oh my god. Alright, anyway. So 5 hatchery is going to go up. There's a Spire. It is a conventional opening here. There's the 4th hatchery. And interesting enough, we're not seeing a Hydralisk Den just yet. That could be trouble, perhaps, for Hyuk. Hopefully, Hyuk has not traded back his face with luxury, in which case this will be the real Hyuk playing. You know, South Korea does a lot of cool scientific stuff, by the way, for those of you who don't know. And by the way, I will be doing a 1000th video shout out. I have already done it, in fact. I'll be uploading it pretty soon and has something about science on it. And anyway, it looks like there is the 5th hatchery and the Hydralisk Den. Yeah, Korea does a lot of weird stuff. I mean, there's rumors that it was working on human cloning for quite a while. I'm not sure if there's still those rumors are still going on, but certainly years ago they were very, very concerned that they were actually trying to do human cloning. Looks like we're going to have some Scourge out, but that's not going to help too much against a Zealot Rush. Now, but Hyuk really should just send them right over to the base there and just make sure he knows what's going on. Now, what's going on is the Speed Zealot Rush. Uh-oh, Hyuk. Are you going to be able to mass up those Hydralisks quick enough? And a follow-up into Stargate. Wow, interesting. Dual Stargates are going to be the follow-up here. There's a Dragoon along with that crowd of Speed Zealots. They're going to have +1/+2. They're going to be very powerful. Now, Hyuk basically has to hope that his base design was good enough. He has a very strong front base. I'm not sure about the side base, though, on the right side. The front door is pretty well locked down, though. I think Hyuk needs to get some Hydras, and he needs to be